Griff teaches you to really love have your cud.
Disgusting. Just like all your kind.
Is that indigestion or is it
theft?
Oh God.
Disgusting like
Not now.
threats?
Grave God, will you quit dragging this on? Take that on,
I will
next
not.
thing. Just hand over the gold.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined threat.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth the sweat of my brow anyhow.
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
The old dog looks up at you but doesn't lift his greying head from his paws. He heaves a heavy sigh. The tip of his tail starts to wag.
I'm Buddy. It's no use anyway.
The dog tentatively sniffs the offering, then grabs it between its teeth and swallows it.
You're nice. Emmy would have loved you. She was my mate for the last 7, carried the 2, plus 50. 5 years! The Magisters, they took her. Emmy was always the smart one. I guess that's why they took her and not me. Oh, I love you. Say, let me show you something.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Fear? Pity, perhaps. A blind wolf may lead the pack, but sooner or later they will all starve. Never mind. If you need to suit up, I can offer you a fair price. If not, I would thank you to move on.
I feel him.
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones. You know what they do? They play a game called Scream. In this game, they see who screams the loudest. I feel the Divine's loss so sharply during Scream.
Whack! Back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword! I'll spare you this time, beast, but don't cross me again! Ever! You're really fun. Hey, I'm gonna hide somewhere in the cave, and you come find me. Ready? Go! You found me! Okay, wait. Let me hide again. Go! My best friend would really like you. Come on, I'll introduce you. I know how to spell introduce. It's I-N-T-R-O-D-U-C-E.
This hole is too small for you to squeeze into.
My way is too small for you. You'll have to find another. Hope you brought a shovel.
I've spotted something. I need to dig here.
Ugh, a human? You stink. Stinky, stinky. Nuh-uh, you do.
The child blows a raspberry at you and scowls.
Stink, human, stink. Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf. To be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. You may keep your shame for yourself. An open heart knows the difference between right and wrong. It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to assault one walking. Only your kind does not see the difference. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout to him to run. I am taken. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
hear them, don't you? The little ones are everywhere. Worse than Magisters.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it?
She laughs and looks around as though taking in the scenery, though her eyes are still covered.
Many people to meet, many stones to turn. And there is a great joy here, as though the walls and water themselves were made by many smiling gods. Even if we are here under unhappy circumstances, still I feel it. I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot say more. You see someday. Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. I cover the place they used to be. They are gone now, taken, but I see all the same. He is a very blind man. He sees things but not truth, not love or joy. I feel very sorry for him. You understand when you meet him after you escape. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves, time for us is now. There is not then and when. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave. My protector, my friend. An elf like me, with a spirit bright as new leaves. He tries to help me, to save me, and he suffers very much. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek, a way out. You bring me great peace. Thank you, my friend. I miss him very much. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling. You do not free Amiro without him. I know they help.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll, or so she said. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into your neck.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time I'll let my needle do the licking. But you did, and now the tables have turned. You look quite startled to me.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still all too deeply embedded in the side of your throat. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this living scar, into my cheek. The mark of a slave. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him. No!
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen that twist coming. I was certain the pitiful begging was about to begin. Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? I will. Escape. How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided dears around here would argue such a thing is impossible. A silly thing to say, but then again, I did think catching me off guard was impossible. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull? The agony of choice. You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you, provided we talk to that lizard I mentioned. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide-and-seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal, wielding any weapon or magic. So, the choice is yours. Suits me fine. Lead on, or better yet, let me take the lead. Then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment.
So this is Fort Joy.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? You'll find out. Down the hatch, then.
Here's the goods. Like you wanted.
Take your coin, then.
You gonna pray all day, buddy?
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place? The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube, and you were you. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? Escape boat? I never even saw one. Guess I was knocked out cold. What about when you were in the water? Did you hear anything? I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. It was a shipwreck, all right. Not much more to say about it, I guess. Papa Joris used to tell me, Losa, he'd say, Losa, you ever find yourself in a sinking ship, follow the rats. They'll find you a way out. Applies to a lot of situations, actually. Vermin tend to know what's what. Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah, same story here. Reckon in my case, they might actually be right, though. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. And don't worry, by the by.
I forgive you for leaving me to drown on that ship. Surprise! We could have, but a few of us made it out in any case. One of those kids, too, told us all about it. But don't worry, manslaughter happens. It hasn't stopped me from thinking it'd be a good idea to travel together. What do you say? It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if, when, push comes to shove. Lately, I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Hey, wait a sec. It looks like you have all the company you need. Maybe another time, when you're a bit more on the lonely side. Till then.
The divine himself, Lucian. Shrine's turned into a memorial, it seems.
The shrine depicts Lucian the Divine, avatar of the 7 gods.
Shrine, by the looks of it.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. They were just there but a moment ago. A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You gotta cut that out. What's happened to you? Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cuckoo, that one, and twice as loud. Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering after that child of hers. Killed by a void woken, she was. Been dead and buried for a month now. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing. My baby. Oh, bless you, bless you. She's been missing for days now, and not a single soul will help me look for her. Irma's her name. She's about as high as your hip. Black of hair, a quiet child. Not prone to wandering off. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll behind, too. It's so unlike her. Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her, my little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. This place turns people cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? You are an angel. Truly you are. Irma, Mummy's right here.
Oh, I don't think I ain't watching. That's your 5th blue chest of this round.
What of it?
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
No. Just because the pair of you are filthy, cheating liars don't mean I can't beat ya.
Ben Mist, Ifan, Ben Mist, you killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer!
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody! Keep him away! Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster Ben Mist away from me.
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on that. No problem, Freshie. In that case, enjoy your stay. I'm sure the Reds told you. No one gets along without paying the interment fee. With pleasure.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all. Our Father, who presideth over us all. Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Name of Migo. Have you seen him? Useless. It is a very important matter that I locate this Migo. Tell me if you hear mention of him. He hasn't changed a bit. Always late. He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
The Magister stares at the ground, unaware of your presence. With a start, she looks up and realizes someone is standing right beside her. Her eyes meet yours. She doesn't blink.
The Divine is dead. The Bishop is all we have left. I don't question the Bishop. He and Dallas would do anything to protect us. And they say he's God-woken. They say he'll ascend.
She pauses for several moments.
I do wish Alexander would ascend sooner rather than later. They say his powers are not developing as they should. They blame the Voidwoken. But we need his powers to develop so that he may banish the Voidwoken. It's quite the pickle. I wish it every night. More than anything. Oh, yes. Only a week or two before, well, you know. I wanted to serve him more than anything. But who didn't then? He was driving the Black Ring back, soon to rout them entirely. I put my faith in the Bishop. Reminds me of his father. And what he said has been true. Wherever there are sorcerers, Voidwoken strike.
A deep grumble emerges from him, as if from an endless cavern. Your bones vibrate to the rhythm of his greeting.
Well, get a load of you. You got swagger, I'll give you that. But I reckon I could squash you like a bug with just my left thumb. You think I'm worried about a buzzing gnat? Seen dozens of wannabes just like you over the years. You ain't looking to pick a fight outside the arena anyhow. You want to show yourself off? You do it in there. First time I spoke, Mama ran through the streets crying, "Demon!" Poor thing, shook her to the core. Sounded like a living hellspawn has its advantages, though. I can make a man shit his pants just by saying boo. That a joke? Either my funny bone is cracked, or you've got the wit of a drunken ogre's bollocks. I'll make a deal with you. You cut out the clowning, and I'll refrain from slicing your tongue next time I catch it wagging. Ain't much to tell. The old lady figured she might as well teach her spawn everything she knew. Thanks to her, I know which end of the sword to hold before I start swinging. Didn't know about the source in me until it was too late. Rushed out of me like some kind of flaming wind. There was nothing left of her to bury but a handful of black ash. It's a fighting arena, a temple of sorts too. You step into it when it's your turn and take whacks or whatever comes barreling towards you. Glad I found it. Spent half my life ripping apart men and mages, sometimes for pay and sometimes for fun. If I've got to be stuck in here, I might as well prove I'm the one. The one is a living god. Might sound crazy to you, but it's just the way of it. You battle in the arenas. You get divine power if you come out on top.
He growls his annoyance. He bids you goodbye with a wordless grumble.
We will rejoin our comrades.
I've waited this long. I can wait longer.
thought you might be Emmy. It's nice to see you. I think I love you. Key? What key? Oh, the key! The Magister who took Emmy dropped it when he was walking away. Did someone say Emmy? Oh, Emmy. If you find out where it leads, if you see Emmy, tell her I miss her. Not too far from here, but she was taken by a guy in a white robe who smelled horrible. Like lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of dogs. And also a little like dead people. He dragged her to the big castle just there. I'm so worried about her.
Food. Rest now, or you'll hang yourself by the Queen's beard. It looks like you lost a fight with a claw hammer. Reckon you're in need of something to heal yourself up, eh?
Instead of a potion, she hands you an empty bottle and a fat brown mushroom.
Not scared of a little elbow grease, are you? A fella ought to know how to put himself right. Go ahead and combine the mushroom with the vial. Once you've mastered the technique, you'll never need help from a crusty old quack like me again. What were you thinking, messing with Griff's brutes anyhow?
I am glad to see you. You fill me with peace. Yes, please ask. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves... time. I know they help.
The soldier tightens his grip.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
I need a shovel.
Just as you're about to address the lizard, the Red Prince bars you with an outstretched arm.
This man is a dreamer. As you know, I need a word with him. You may wait here while I speak. Permission indeed.
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention, which he does in a groveling and awkward manner. The dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of Drudene leaves before slipping into a trance-like state. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and follows suit. After about half an hour, they wake up and begin to discuss what they saw in their dreams. The Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance in response.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this sting-tailed fellow may be a less than stellar specimen in the firmament of dreamers, the dreams themselves prove to be quite elucidating. Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The myth-shrouded House of Shadows. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. And they've visions of me on the throne. That's because you haven't seen that other world in all its glory. It is majestic, fit for a prince. Oh, I was born with the promise of an empire, and that promise will be kept. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer, a greater one, a more experienced traveler of the dream world. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands east of the fort. So, let us make our escape and venture there post-haste.
You know, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Drudene.
As you're about to approach the lizard, Sabine cups your chin between thumb and index finger, then guides your eyes to hers.
Listen, I need to have a chat with this here morsel of flesh. He has wronged me once, but may just do right by me this time.
To your surprise, Sabine proceeds to throttle the unsuspecting lizard with one hand as she drives the tip of her needle into his lower belly with the other. Then the questions commence. You hear him yelp about the master, lone wolves, and a man called Griff. Then, quite suddenly, there's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls to the ground, face first into his own intestines. Sabine heaves a sigh of satisfaction, and as she wipes her needle clean, shoots you a cursory look.
Chat's over.
Demon elf! How dare you strike down a dreamer?
Something on your mind? It's simple. He scarred me, so I scarred him. Extensively.
She defies you with devilishly innocent eyes.
Can you blame me? There it is. I was wondering when your spine would make an appearance. Anyway, what's dead is done, so let's move on, shall we? Despite my high hopes, this scar disfigures me still. The search for the master continues, of course. Hungry work, the hunt. And you know what? I'm feeling a bit peckish. Stingtail mentioned a cook, as it happens. Fellow named Griff. 2 birds, 1 stone. How about it?
Here you are. I wonder what keeps you. Tell me your tale. Start from the beginning. Start from where you come. I see, I see. Now tell me more. Tell me what you do. Tell me what you find. I understand. Now tell me how your story ends. I see it in your shoulders, the weight you carry. I hope your wish comes true. Take this rope. It is a gift. It is common, but it helps you lift burdens. It is nothing. Many fragments swirl on my shore. See what I gather.
The woman looks out on the gently lapping waves. She seems totally at peace, but as you approach, she turns to you with a cheerful smile.
Haven't seen you around here before. New? Well, don't worry too much if you have a hard time settling in. Takes a while to get used to the place. You here alone?
She gives you a long look.
Maybe you ought to give those companions of yours another chance. Some of us haven't got anyone at all anymore. Maybe they mean something to you after all. Used to be I had a family. A husband and a little boy. We were healers. Source was in our blood. Then they brought us here. I couldn't stop them from taking my boys from me when they did. Reckon they were cured. Maybe even released. Don't know why they're... Now I'm just waiting for him to call my name. Waiting and remembering. Thank you kindly, sweetheart. I do appreciate it. They were good lads. Too good for this place. In some ways, I'm glad they got out quickly. Listen to me, bubbling on like a cauldron. You're sweet to listen. And yes, they were lovely. Totally lovely. I'll see him again before I'm gone for good. That's for certain. You run along now, darling. You shouldn't spend what little time you've got left here listening to an old bleeding heart moan.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey.
Ha! I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Not an attempt, mate. Not if I can bloody help it. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
Prepare yourself. I'm ready.
are. It's their frightful manners I mind the most, really. Well, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I do find it ever so invigorating to cut a cutthroat's throat. Oh, one gets used to this kind of thing so quickly. This is hardly the first time someone's filled some poor fool's purse and bid him kill the prince. I'll tell you what, though. Whomever wants me out of the picture will have to do a lot better if they seek to get the better of me. All those bumblers they've sent so far mark a mere insult to my swordsmanship.
Come on, you stubborn hunk of garbage.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship. His whole body strains with the effort of wrenching the plank free, to no avail.
Ah! Eh? Oh, that. That won't be my first or last roll on a lost boat. You certainly made it out fine, didn't you? You made quite sure of that, from what I hear. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got business to attend to.
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs them together before placing them both back on the plank and pulling.
Bleeding nail must be charmed or something. Go on then, give it a go.
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail pops loose, and the plank promptly crumbles to pieces in your hand.
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I, loosened her up.
He winks and flips a gold coin toward you. It makes a long, high arc, glinting in the sun, and lands squarely in your hand.
For your trouble. I suppose it were a fool's errand thinking I could make something out of this heap, but I couldn't help myself from trying.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well, on to plan B.
He gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether to trust you.
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Far be it from me to miss an appointment. Maybe you don't.
He stands before you and pokes you in the side, seizes your shoulder with a great, strong hand.
There's something of you, you know? You don't have to accept your fate on this bloody island. You can leave here, get on with your life. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and bows with the grace of a courtier.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead and buried. What matters is what they call me. Beast. Well, that's quite the story now. Let's save it for a better day. Say when we finally make it off this damn island. Suffice to say, I'd at least be Captain Beast in better times. I'm out of a ship at the moment, though. Even a salty old dog like me's got to sweat on dry land now and then. Anyhow, we're a team now, so the me is not half as important as the us. let's get down to brass tacks. Fighting, I mean. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin, and I've picked up a few tricks along the way. Truth be told, I've grown fond of crushing and casting. A battle mage, if you like. But there's not so important as team dynamics. So what'll it be? Then it's settled. Capital. Aye. But it seems you've no room for old Beast in your clan now. You come find me when a spot opens up, and take it from me. You'll want to find a place for me at your side.
Ah, coloured like a dog. A very pink, very long dog. I'd pity you, but Scepter the Ineffable has no patience for weakness. I'd like to see you try, meatbag. Shorth cut through me like a tidal wave, ready to break over your pathetic cowed head at my command. But of course, they'll happily dump your maggot-ridden corpse into the sea when they're through with you. Sorcerers dance while magisters pull the strings. Fools all! Their tomfoolery won't save them from the destruction the void shall wreak upon them. This power is my birthright, same as yours, but one of us has grown to astounding heights and the other has sunken to depths too humiliating to describe. Pity. Ha! Of course, precious. But which is worse, the cure or the disease? Foolish divine would have scum.
Goodness, but this, please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're acting like a madman.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer's lips.
She never did like you.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Don't feel too bad. Fella had no decency. If you don't have that, you don't have anything to live for.
He nods at you and turns back to his handiwork. He lines up another nail and hammers it into the panel.
I'll be with you soon, love.
What's your hands, Pipsqueak? What are you loitering round here for? Out the fort? To where then? The death swamps or the ocean brimming with voidwoken? Fat chance of getting more than 5 feet in any direction and keeping your skin right side out. Make it quick. Hell if I know. Don't rightly know if it can be done. If they take the sauce out of you, what are you? Sure, pal of mine made it as far as the Hollow Marshes even. They dragged his corpse back the next day. Head pulled clean off by a ghost. I saw it myself. I never seen one myself, but me cousin up in Gore said one appeared from the clear sky one day and ate up every child under the age of 12. I don't know where they come from, but without the divine, there ain't much we can do to stop them. Mind your manners round Griff, eh?
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
What? Oh, new, are you? Very good, very good. Make yourself at home. Advice? Hold on to yourself, my friend. The fort is full of decent folks turned savage by confinement. Do not let it happen to you. Goods? Ah, yes, yes, of course. Have a look.
Watch yourself.
My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why?
We've used source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this.
It's that thing. Eating corpses.
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to you with great effort, pain apparent in every movement, and madness screams from its wide, bloodshot eyes.
You. Quite lost. Careful, or they'll cross your wires. Now, a little query. Where grows the yarrow? Quickly now, for I haven't much time. You want to leave. You want to go. Tell me where the yarrow grows. Tell me now, or shall I pick your parts clean too? It's easy. Ugh! Where does the yarrow grow? Where?
None.
I'm fading.
Leave me. Go. You leave me be. Just...
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach. She looks up.
You looking to buy something?
Wonder where this leads.
You walk up to a skeleton unlike any you have ever seen before. His skull seems to be carved into intricate patterns with a gemstone sitting in the middle of his forehead. Approaching, you hear a profane rumble from the undead beast.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation! That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Why, its face, of course. What other use would I have for some rotting corpse? A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal. Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! Oh. You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... Well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I have important things to do on Reaper's Coast. I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in peace. No, I may be an eternal, but my patience has its limits. Indeed, I may be the only eternal. My people seem rather absent, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again. Well, that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was inconvenienced for a time. Several centuries, in fact. Or perhaps millennia. One tends to lose track. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate. A companion? After you left the others to die on that ship? Hardly actions that instill confidence. Then again, I am somewhat isolated here. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see. Splendid. Although, it seems you already have quite a pack of traveling companions. Perhaps you should try discarding some grit before you help yourself to a pearl.
You're not welcome here. Go, man-pig.
Oh. You do nothing wrong. I'm not myself. This place. Freya, please. Please, just go.
These turtles. They're transforming.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling. The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence. She looks up at you with curious eyes.
There are monsters here. Lizard ones and real ones. It's really scary. And I miss my ma and pa. Master was a lizard. She sent us here. Me, ma and pa. She was not a nice lady. Lizards aren't nice ladies. It's their fault I'll never see ma and pa again. Parents are the best. They take care of you and make sure nothing can hurt you. And when they leave, you're all alone.
Her eyes lock with yours for a moment. She places her head on her knees and sits quietly.
Mama!
The child doesn't lift her head from her knee.